Hello, hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Laura Sullivan. This is the Abundance Channel, and I'm so excited that you're here. Today, I'm going to talk about a couple things that get in our way. Oh my God, I'm so distracted right now. There's a bobcat out my window. If I moved fast enough, I would have shown you. So sorry. I love how the universe works. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. That was so cool. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Okay. I'm not even going to edit that out because that was just too freaking cool. All right. So let me try to get back to where I was. All right. So today we're going to talk about different things that get in the way of manifestation. I think it's so important to help everyone learn from my mistakes. I think it's pretty safe to say that anyone who's ever tried to manifest has run into challenges with being able to actually get what they're trying to manifest. And I know for myself, for a long time, I thought that it was me. Now, for real, it is. It's always about me because I am the one creating my reality. But I didn't realize that it wasn't that I was doing the manifestation technique wrong, but what I didn't realize was that there were things that were barriers to me achieving the outcomes I received. So let's talk about some of that. Let's talk about some of the blocks. And I want to talk about, I'm going to just go into some of the emotional components today. I think the emotional components are key when it comes to getting your desired outcomes. So let's start by, if you've been on any of my, if you've watched any of my videos before, I like to make this interactive. And so let's start first by just kind of grounding yourself, because you watching this, that's one dimension of creating your desired outcomes. But if we together treat this as if we were all in the same room, and maybe if we were, I don't know, maybe we're mingling around talking to people, or maybe we're sitting in a circle like it's a meditation circle. But let's look around and let's just kind of acknowledge the people that are here, past, present, future. All of the people, their energy can be together here in this now moment. So let's just kind of take that moment to look around and say hello and welcome people, and just sharing that energy, just bringing that energy into this experience. For some of you, that may just seem really woo-woo and out there, and that's okay too. But the more that we contribute our energy into this, the more we get back from it. So if you participated, thank you in that. All right, so let's talk about the emotions of manifesting. So some of the emotions that are extremely beneficial, like these are musts for creating your dream life, is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the emotions that when you are in gratitude, you are not in any of the emotions that are creating barriers. And so gratitude is something that begets more. Like the more that you're grateful for the money that you have, regardless of how much it is, the more the universe is going to respond in kind, and you will find opportunities, you will find money flowing to you more effortlessly. It's kind of, it seems like it goes, like it almost like it doesn't make sense, but when it comes to trying to manifest something, it's really about how can you get out of a state of resistance. And so gratitude is the ultimate state of not being in resistance. When you are happy, when you are joyful, when you are grateful, when you are loving, you are creating this expansive energy that is allowing the universe to just flow through your life. So that's an important component. Now, I focus on really trying to help you get better outcomes. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about what are some of those emotional states that get in the way. I've talked about fear before. Fear is such a huge barrier. Like, think about a stream, right? Think about if you were floating down a stream and you're trying to get around these really big boulders. And, if there's at some point you might have an inability to go down that stream because there's so many big boulders in the way that you can't keep floating. And that's kind of like if we're talking about abundance being a stream, then we need to get those boulders out of the way. And so fear is a huge blocker for abundance. Whatever your desired outcome is, fear stops you dead in your tracks. And so recognizing that is just the first step, right? So when the other part of it is when you're trying to identify what are the barriers for you to get the things you want in life and in the emotional state, it's not about pushing against it. So it's not like I'm trying to go from a place of fear to a place of happiness or even a place of relief. What I want to do is I just want to acknowledge it. That's the simple part. I just want to acknowledge, yes, I'm having that fear. And then if I can feel it in my body, that's another thing. I can just start feeling into the fear, noticing where it is, and then I can send it a blessing. And if that's something that's new to you, it's like it can be however you want. It could be a prayer, it could be like sending light, it could be a lot of different things. It could be calling in your guides to help. There's so many different ways, but it's not playing tug of war with whatever that emotion is. So if it's, I'm not trying to do the opposite. I'm not trying to push it away. I'm just trying to recognize that it's present and then be like, okay, all right, I'm just going to be here observing you here. And that can be okay. If I can try to do something that helps to soften that, that's even better. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. And it doesn't have to be all today either, but just recognizing it. So when we talk about emotional states, one of the things that is so important is also to pay attention to what are your repetitive thoughts? And before I even I already went there, but let me back up just a moment and let me talk about what are your beliefs about life, right? I'm not even talking about what it is that you are trying to achieve, right? I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to find my soulmate. I want to be rich. But in general, when you hear yourself talking to your friends, to people, what do you notice yourself saying? Like people are blah, life is blah, do you hear yourself saying things negatively on a consistent basis? Like, oh, the government is blah, Democrats are blah, Republicans are blah, right? You name it. Like, I'm just talking about high level general things. The more that you notice that you're talking about things with a negative outlook, right? Where you're finding fault. This one, complaining. So I don't know about you, but I have really had to work on my addiction to complaining because that's what it was for me. I have become more and more aware of when I hear myself complaining and trying to stop it as soon as I catch myself. And I say it as an addiction because I don't know why, but there's something about complaining that actually feels good. And so I have to stop myself because I just want to do it. And it's a habit that doesn't serve me. It is something that is a barrier to me creating the manifested outcomes that I want in my life. If I want abundance in my life, then it's going to be in direct proportion to how much am I complaining. So if I'm trying, if I am not happy in my job, and this is like one where I've heard myself complaining over and over and over again about my job, my coworkers, my business partner and whatever, company I was at. I would get to the point where I just got sick of hearing myself complain about it. And so the second that I got done with complaining about it, that started to free up the energy and allow new opportunities to come in. And so these are things that have a tendency to block your manifested outcomes from coming in. Because if you are in a place of complaining, then you're not in a place of allowing abundance. And if you're not in that place of allowing abundance, then it doesn't matter if you're complaining about politics, but you're trying to find your soulmate. It's all related. It's like if you are in a place where you are generally an unhappy person, then the biggest key is to become aware of it. Like, let's be aware of it first. Then let's look at, okay, can I become aware of I'm complaining again? Can I get myself to stop? Right? Can I find a way to say, okay, I did it again. I'm going to now say, okay, yes, I was focusing on the negative here, but here's a positive thing. And to start directing myself into positive places. And the way that I do that, and the reason that I started this channel is because I spend every single day reprogramming my brain. I am consciously rewiring those patterns. I am consciously not trying to oppose the fear or oppose the whiny, complaining part of me. It's still there, but I want to feed the energy of gratitude. And so I want to, just anytime I'm in that place of just feeling happiness and joy, I want to spend as much time there as possible and just revel in that feeling. Because the more I can be in that place of happiness and joy and gratitude, the more I am just sending the signal out to the universe to give me more of that, to be happy and joyful and grateful for. So that's my focus. And I'm not perfect at it. Every day it's a constant work in progress. But here's the other part of it, right? And this is what goes hand in hand with our emotional state is what is the messages that you are surrounding yourself with. And so when I am driving, I am generally not listening to music. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I'm listening to YouTube or podcasts or something that is giving me messages to remind me of what I am trying to think, do, become, whatever, right? And so I will listen to people that I have found are, sending out those messages that I resonate with, that I aspire to be, and that make me feel good. Because the more I feel good, the more I send that message out to the universe to give me more of that. The more I feel bad, the more I send the message to the universe to send me more of that. And so, it all rests on me. I am the person, the only person who decides on any given day, how am I going to think, feel, act, respond? And what does that mean to me? And I can tell you, I can promise you, this is not easy, but it's important to me. It's like, this is my life. And so what do I want my life to look like? How do I want to feel on any given day? Does it mean I'll always be happy every single day? No. There are days where I have anxiety. There are days where I experience depression. There are days where I am in a place of despair and I have no idea how to solve a problem. And these tools that I use every single day help me get through all of those difficult moments. And I don't do it perfect, but I do it because I continue to want to create like positive outcomes for me. And I want to be a loving, compassionate, forgiving person. And so let me give you another example of that. And then, we can go into a meditation to really work on how we can, bring an example of that into our life. So about 5 years ago, I had an experience where I knew it was time for my marriage to end. There was an event that happened, and that was the beginning of the end of my marriage. And as I was going through the whole divorce process, I realized then, and this was a big part of what was helping me develop some of these tools that I share with you, is who do I want to be in relation to this marriage ending, as an ex-spouse, as a mother, and all of the challenges that come from the process of what that looks like. And so I knew that if I stayed in a place of anger and resentment and bitterness towards my ex-spouse, then that was not going to get me to a place where I felt happy and joyful and grateful, because those emotions of anger, bitterness, resentment, blame, they keep me stuck in those emotions. Like that is not an upward going spiral emotionally. And so it was years that I was working through that process. And it was only last month that I really felt like, okay, this may be something that I'm never fully free of, but I feel like I've at least gotten over that 90% threshold where I feel grateful for that relationship that I had. And I feel grateful for all of the moments that were both good and bad and happy and sad and devastating. Just like there were moments where it just felt like scorched earth for me. And and the emotions, the despair felt like it would kill me. And you know, and through it all, in those moments, I survived the individual moments, and I didn't do it perfectly, not even a little bit. There are things I've said that I wish I could take back. There are things I wish I could do differently, but I also had to be loving and forgiving with myself as well, and then start to kind of expand that out to the others involved in that process. And I say this and I share this because I think it's important to understand that these things, these moments, these events in life, everyone goes through their own version of that. And it doesn't mean you can't create a beautiful, joyful dream life. In fact, I continue to create a beautiful, joyful dream life because of these moments of devastation, of despair, the dark nights of the soul, the moments where I feel like my emotions will kill me. I feel like I can't go on. And I just have no idea what the solution looks like. But I continue to just draw and ask for help from spirit, ask for help from my guides to try to find a way. And the more that I'm able to free myself from the blame, the anger, the resentment, the feeling like this was totally unfair, the more that I free myself from that. And the more that I can just be loving and bless them and feel grateful for them being a part of my life, the more I'm freeing up to be able to create this river of abundance in my life. When I can free myself of the blame, the victimhood, the resentment, those are those big rocks I'm moving out of that stream. That allows me to continue flowing, and then good things start flowing to me and through me. And I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope this does, because these emotional pieces are so important to recognize as barriers so that when we are working on our techniques for manifesting the wealth, the weight loss, the soulmate, whatever that is for you, we find compassion and gratitude and love more accessible to us. And those are the key ingredients to our manifestation recipe. Okay, so with that, let's go into a meditation. And we're just going to do a little bit, not a whole lot. No, I'm not going to take you into devastation or despair, but really what I want to do is just help you maybe find one area that you might feel a little bit stuck with and see if we can just soften that a little bit, okay? So let's go ahead again, just remember, let's think of it like we're in a room, like we're in a circle, and that we're seeing everyone in there, and we're just sending our energy to everyone in that circle. And we're sending blessings to ourselves first, and we're sending blessings to everyone in the group and just building that energy. And then just Kind of think of yourself like your feet just kind of grounding into the earth, like roots, just kind of grounding you there. And then just think of the top of your head just connecting up with the divine and whatever that is. Your divine could be nature, your divine could be God, it could be spirit, it could be Allah, it could be whatever you need it to be. We have no rules around that. And just let yourself sink in a little bit more. And take a deep breath. And take another deep breath. And I just now want you to think about the topics we talked about. Do you find yourself complaining a lot? Is there an area that you really can easily find that you feel stuck with? And those are the things I want you to just see what you can identify for yourself. And just see if you notice that. Do you feel any tension in your body when you think about that emotional tug? Do you feel any resistance? And even just taking a deep breath as you feel that resistance, because we don't have to change it. We can just recognize it. We can just allow it to be what it is in this moment. And if you are able to even just find a place where you feel grateful, like if you can actually get to a place where this area you've been stuck, you can see how there might be some way that it has helped you, even though it really didn't feel good. And if not, that's okay too. If you can find a place to bless it, and just know, like, I'm just sending you all so much support right now. And just for whatever it is that you need, just in this moment. And if you're able to find a way to just soften it a little, and maybe it's just as simple as understanding what is that word that you would use to describe it? Is it resentment? Is it betrayal? Is it pain? None of the emotions in themselves are bad. They all have their place. But oftentimes what we do is we think about them over and over, and that keeps us stuck in a pattern. And maybe if we can just ask spirit or our guides to help us with this, to just find a different place we don't even have to know what that place is. We can find that energy shift a little where we may feel a little less stuck with it. That's a good place. And then just bringing more light, bringing blessings in. And no matter what that feeling is, that place of being stuck, there is sending blessings, finding gratitude. That isn't saying that whatever happened was okay. All it is it's freeing you from the emotional trap that it's created in your life. And that is the power of letting things go. It's not about saying it was okay, but it's about not letting it control you and getting those boulders out of the way so that good things can flow into your life. So this is something that hopefully you've been able to identify an area of your life that you can take this away and work on and journal about. You could meditate, you could just take a walk and contemplate it and understand that this is a healing journey. This isn't a healing destination. And so part of being able to have successful, manifested outcomes is it's part of a healing journey. And it's recognizing patterns and creating new patterns. So just find yourself coming back into your body, just noticing yourself, you know, tell yourself you're proud of you for going there, for doing this, for taking this time. This is a blessing, and it's one that we don't always take time to do this kind of self-care. And going into some of those darker areas of our life isn't easy. I avoided it completely for many years. And I'm a healer, and I avoided it for many years because in order for me to, keep things in my life the way I needed them to be at the time, I just couldn't look at it. So just know this is a big step, just even going there. If you're even in a place where you're willing to try to find gratitude or forgiveness or something along that lines about an area that has been very difficult and stuck for you, that's huge. And that is not to be ignored or minimized or diminished. This is big stuff. So as you come back from this meditation, and as we move forward, I just want to thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for all of you that shared your energy with this group and sent the blessings out. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sharing this with other people so that we can grow and expand the people that can be helped by this information, right? It's very easy to think of, manifestation as just kind of being on some sort of shopping spree, you know, just this isn't all about consumption, and it's not just about just trying to get the things we want in life. And there's nothing wrong with getting the things we want in life. But like I said, this is a healing journey, and this is a powerful healing journey. And every single one of you watching this video, you deserve to have all of the good things in life. There's no criteria that you have to meet to be able to create abundance in your life. Now, that may go in the face of what you've learned your entire life. But again, that's why I do my daily regimen of rewiring, because I think I have to. So keep coming back. Hopefully this message resonates with you. I would really love to hear what it is you found helpful, what you might like to see done differently. I would love to hear how things are shifting for you after doing some of this. So please share what you're comfortable with. I know this can be difficult at times, but I really look forward to your comments, and I will see you in the next video. So I will see you soon. Thank you.